The road to Redbull Wololo Legacy is underway, guys. This is the semi-finals I bring to you today. I'm going to be bringing you both sets of the semi-finals in this video. We're going to be having Kasva versus puppypaw a little bit after this one. And that's going to be a fantastic set because both players are looking to secure their place in Castle Heidelberg, Germany for Redbull Wololo Legacy. Let's see if they can do it. But the first semi-final we're going to cover is between marinelord here in the south corner in the map, playing in blue as the Holy Roman Empire. On the west side of the map, we've got leenock playing in red as the Mongols. This is a best of 3, and the map is Frisian Marshes, which is one of the community-generated maps, developed by Adne, a valuable community member. Created a fantastic map. We've seen a couple of games on this map already, and what's exciting is the gold positions on this map, often quite easily to deny, and quite tough to get hold of and protect. On this map. So we do see, Mongols being used quite a bit. leenock has picked it today. It's going to be an aggressive opening, as we can see with the barracks already. Could be spearmen, could be a tower rush, an outpost rush. We shall see what the Mongols do today on this map. Now, the Holy Roman Empire is an interesting pick. It feels a little bit awkward, but to be honest with you, the map is fresh, brand new. We don't know kind of the meta, the playstyles. The Holy Roman Empire, though, I feel like could be a very interesting pick because they can be aggressive. Often they're going for like a fast castle type build on a lot of other maps with the Ark and Chapel, really utilizing the economy. But I feel like, the Minework Palace could be an interesting pick for this map going into, the landmark, which acts as a barracks in the castle age, basically 4 barracks to spam those man-at-arms. We shall see what marinelord does and how he plays as the Holy Roman Empire on this map. Yeah, this is going to be exciting because leenock and marinelord have actually guaranteed their places in Germany, Castle Heidelberg, for the Redbull Wololo Legacy by virtue of the fact that leenock was the runner-up in the N4C tournament and marinelord actually won the Golden League, which was also hosted by ECGTV. Just to remind you guys, if you don't know already, the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy is actually hosted by ECGTV, and so big shout out to them. It's fantastic that they're doing hosting these tournaments for us to enjoy, and hopefully I'll be bringing you some good content, exciting content covering the semi-finals today. So we see this, we see the Minework Palace actually being used by marinelord. That's super interesting. We don't see this that often being used by the Holy Roman Empire, but if there is a map to be doing it with, it's probably this one. leenock looking to siege down this mining camp to get that kind of raiding bonus and bounty, but the mining camp should be in the influence of the town centre. Yep, it is. So marinelord will be able to repair this with emergency repairs, should he wish to. Alright, leenock now looking to move towards gold, looking to get that gold income to get up to the feudal age, sending 2 villagers there, sending some spearmen forward again. So we'll have 4 spearmen, as you can see, emergency repairs being used by marinelord there. Outpost goes up, the first one goes up. It's actually got 4 spearmen, so it's actually committing quite hard. I suspect marinelord, getting up to the next stage, is going to be able to get some archers on the field. He's been denied from gold, so man-at-arms doesn't seem to be really an option for marinelord just yet. He'll need to stabilize things a little bit, maybe get an archer range to control the situation and reclaim his gold. Now, the thing about the Minework Palace, which is quite nice, is that it acts as a blacksmith, but it researches 30% faster and has, the research being 30% less cost. And that's pretty big because getting rams in this situation could be an issue, and it's going to be cheaper for him for getting siege engineering, which would be nice to basically take down these towers, which is usually what you'll need to do to be able to successfully and easily mine gold. He does have this one here, but that's kind of a bit more contestable. So the thing that's really interesting about the maps, or this map in particular, is that the gold is kind of awkward. The primary goal is kind of evenly spread, like it's quite a nice distance, it's not hugely far apart. All the other goals tend to be closer to your opponent, as in it's towards your opponent, and it means your opponent can pressurize that, and it's very different to other maps. Very, very interesting. So we do see now going up with the deer stones, looking to get that YAM network improvement. As you can see, this instantly grants the YAM network technology, getting the speed aura around the outposts, which leenock does actually have, and he looks to outpost the other gold, but marinelord looking to be on the case, looking to deny that position. He's got 1 spearman, so he's got 1 archer, 2 archers, quite a few spearmen there for leenock. Going to look to try and make sure this goes up, but with good micro here, marinelord might be able to deny this, looking to snipe that villager. That villager will go down, I think, if marinelord is going to be quick about it. And he is. Yeah, he takes down the villager, the outpost doesn't go up, and So this is actually really huge, guys, because it means that leenock has to delete that tower, and now marinelord can push out to this left gold if he needs to, and the spearmen are pretty useless now because there are archers on the field. Will we see a switch up for leenock? Yep, we see a stable going down, likely to be horseman coming on the field, and he is almost there to feud lage, not quite there yet, but he will be getting there relatively soon. And it looks like marinelord is actually going to siege down this first outpost. There is no arrow slits technology, don't forget. And this is actually a good play by marinelord because, of course, by being in the feud lage now, leenock could potentially get the arrow slits technology. He's not, because he knows that the outpost is going to go down before that. So, you know, no dilly-dallying around here for marinelord. And this is good play. He's using the prelate, as you can see, as well, to heal the villagers. So he's not going to lose a single villager in doing that. And he actually doesn't even need to go to his left gold anymore. He can just go to his primary one. So very nice defense here for marinelord. The early aggression has been pushed back relatively effectively by marinelord, and leenock needs to come with another solution to the problems that he has, which is marinelord standing in his way to get to the grand final of this Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy week number 2. Alright, with all that going on, leenock just a little bit high behind on the villager count. It evened up there, but he's just a tiny bit behind, maybe some idle time in that town centre. But he is producing horsemen on the field, looking to get some map control, looking to see what's going on. He does actually preserve those spearmen, so nice conservation of the units, and hiding out in that stealth forest, giving a bit of scouting action in the stealth forest that separates these two great players. Barracks is going down for marinelord now. As you can see, he's got access to his gold, so he can quite nicely go into man-at-arms if he so wishes. And leenock will need to do something about that. It looks like leenock is banking food, but not quite there in terms of what he wants to be. You can see the food count for marinelord is absolutely insane right now. I mean, marinelord could still go fast castle behind this. He's got plenty of food, plenty of gold coming in. Let's just see if he's producing any man-at-arms. He's actually not. He's getting spearmen instead because he sees the horsemen. I suspect he's conserving his gold to be able to get up to that castle age. And when he does that, guys, that'll be hugely powerful with the Minework Palace. If he goes for the Burgrave Palace as well behind that to get up to the castle age, that'll be insane because he'll be able to produce man-at-arms with cheap upgrades as well. He's already got iron undermesh to add to his units. Just see how many sheep that marinelord had, still taking them. leenock still having quite a bit of sheep as well. There is a blacksmith going up for leenock, looking to get those upgrades. We do see an altercation here. There are a couple of archers going to be taken out by the horsemen. Quite a few horsemen there. It doesn't seem like he wants to dive in too far because he'll be taken out by the town centre fire as well as the spearmen. He's going to lose quite a lot. He loses another horseman there, and leenock loses a lot just for maybe killing about 2 villagers, maybe at max, maybe 1. I'm not too sure if he even got any. These look to be archer bodies. And there we have it. marinelord going forward with the Regnitz Cathedral, actually, not with the Burger Palace. He's not looking to be aggressive here. This is very nice. He's looking to actually get hold of the relics, which will be so helpful in the later parts of the game if it gets that far. Okay, marinelord actually upgrading his spearmen to hardened spearmen to make sure that they're even more effective against the horsemen. And leenock looking to get up to the castle age himself. It's actually not too far away from it, guys. It's almost there with the food and the gold. So relatively even-ish uptimes, I suppose, but actually marinelord's already halfway there to the castle age, so he's going to be there pretty earlier, quite quicker really, and that will really help him get his upgrades quickly, nice and early, and going to give him some basically a massive head start on getting the relics. leenock going up with the step redoubt, which we were in no doubt of him getting, because this is an incredible landmark. It's where it basically acts as a gur, which is a gold drop-off point, or any drop-off point really for the Mongols, and in particular this gold drop-off point, or the landmark itself, means that gold dropped off here is increased by 50%. That is absolutely huge. You can imagine essentially getting 3 villagers equivalent on that gold mine. Relics are being brought in now with the prelates, which is incredible. Regnitz Cathedral being used here, which generates 200% gold every minute for each relic, and it holds 2 relics. So as you can see, the gold income already there, starting to trickle in. It's going to be more than that, obviously. It's going to be 200 gold if I'm not mistaken. Okay, leenock gets to the castle age as well. Not going to be, might be able to snipe this monk actually if he's savvy about it. He does notice it, but there are quite a few archers there. He doesn't want to lose risking the Khan as his hero unit, and leenock probably needs to let that monk get that relic, which is a bit painful because that will be the second relic coming in. And actually, as you can see, it's actually more than that. I think it might be 300, so it might be 150 gold per relic. Let's just see, actually. Yeah, that'll probably be going up to 300 gold per minute. And that'll be 600 gold per minute. So the gold income, as you can see, absolutely huge here. For marinelord has already got villagers in on gold, quite a few of them. So we shall see what he decides to do. He's actually kind of lacking on the food a little bit. We'll maybe look to get some army on the field and progress to the right side with the marshes are, and plenty of shorefish there. And the outpost does actually go out there for leenock, so he has covered the second gold position, which is going to be a bit of a pain for marinelord to deal with. But having said that, with the cheaper upgrades from the minework palace, he can get siege engineering for relatively cheap here. He's actually going for marching drills, which kind of shows you his intent. He's really going for the infantry here, probably looking to get some man-at-arms on the field. Oh, a lot of idle villagers here for leenock. He needs that transition to pastures. Hasn't got that yet. He's got quite a lot of wood. Actually, that's marinelord. I mean, leenock has still also got quite a lot of wood. We're going to need to get those pastures up, or maybe look to get some of that shorefish, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to put a gur out there, but we'll need to protect those villages with an outpost or two. But one won't be enough to garrison all of those. It's got 13 villages there. We'll need at least 2, and that won't even cover it. It will need 3 to cover every villager there. Outpost does go on that gold. marinelord very keen not to lose that position. He's got a couple of hardened spearmen on the field, but not much more in the way of military. As you can see, he's getting his upgrades, getting steel arrow, he's getting the specialized pick, and getting forestry as well. leenock, that is. And marinelord actually going for the veteran horseman upgrade. They're looking to do a cavalry switch, which will be an interesting switch. Is going for bloomery as well, so looking to get some map control on the map. He does have a knight on the field as well. Maybe looking to just bait leenock a little bit, saying like, hey, check this out, there's a lancer here, or there's a knight here, maybe you should go crossbows. And if leenock buys it, if he goes into crossbows, that will be fantastic for marinelord, because you know, he can just have that switch up to veteran horseman, which is exactly what he's doing. He's getting that upgrade, so we know that's on the cards for marinelord. Marinelord looking to scout things out here. Looks like the lancer is going to keep up with him. 1.62 tile speed and 1.62 tile speed, so it's actually equal, but it just feels like the knight is catching up to him for some reason. Maybe it's the ducking and the diving and the weaving. A lot of army here going forward for leenock, looking to get some man-at-arms and crossbows on the field. We shall see what marinelord has in store for us here. It's actually going for the Palace of Swabia, so it's going for a relatively fast Imperial Age here. 14 minutes on the clock almost. And this is going to be fantastic for his economy, but he needs to survive until then, because it looks like leenock is trying to be aggressive here. He's putting a trebuchet on the field, and the Palace of Swabia going near the shorefish is relatively exposed, it has to be said. It's like kind of on the front of his base. But he will want to get those villagers printing and start to boost the economy. That will really help him with the food count as well, because the actual villagers cost a lot less with the Palace of Swabia. As you can see, that produces villagers 200 times faster at a 66% reduced cost. It's a little bit nuts, guys. It's a little bit nuts. It used to be crazier. This has actually been nerfed recently. So before the recent patches, this used to be even a bit more crazy. We shall see the village count really start to climb for marinelord. 48 at the moment versus 44. We shall see if he does. He does have a lancer there on those villages there. We'll need to pull back though, because there is a springald emplacement in the outpost for leenock. The knight gets away, lives to fight another day, looking to harass the gold villagers. It's a knight that's only on 3 HP though, so the villagers could technically take it quite nicely. 2 trebuchets on the field, guarded by outposts with springald emplacements coming in. And marinelord needs to just buy himself some time. If he can do that, then he can push forward and push this out, but he does need that time to be able to build up his army. Three traction trebuchets. So leenock definitely going aggressive here in Castle Age. marinelord needs to find a response. That initial town centre is under fire, but as you can see, he's got the emergency repairs. So that's really, really effective as a defensive mechanism for the Holy Roman Empire. He's got quite a few spearmen. He's pumping out those horsemen. And he may be even waiting for the elite upgrade. Is he going for the elite upgrade at all? He is actually going for the elite upgrade, and that's going to be really well. I mean, that's going to trade decently well against these Castle Age units. Although, of course, man-at-arms will be relatively good against them. You know, they are Imperial Age units, and looks like he's getting the upgrades as well, I suspect. As you can see, getting fitted leatherwork and queuing up everything he needs. So Ovu's been depleted for the Mongols, looking to push that to another direction, to another stone pile. And marinelord just harassing the gold villagers, wants to It doesn't need to do sort of amazing amount of damage, but he is idling these villagers quite a lot, and that'll be more than enough for marinelord, it seems, at the moment. He's keeping this at bay. He's got a bombard on the field as well. So it just feels like the tech advantage for marinelord here is huge by being up to the Imperial Age, and the villager count must be insane at the moment. 47 for leenock, 64 for marinelord. Yeah, it's quite ridiculous, actually. I find that the Holy Roman Empire in this sort of situation is super duper strong, but we take nothing away from marinelord. A lot of it will be down to the way he's played it. And there are a couple of lancers here looking to rush the bombard, but won't be able to take an effective fight. The bombard gets pulled back from marinelord. As you can see, the horseman numbers really starting to build. I think it's four stables in total, and there's a siege workshop in the background there as well. And so leenock looking to be in trouble here. He's on a bit of a timer. He can't really delay this push too much longer. He needs to push hard because, of course, this Palace of Suabia printing villagers means the economy for marinelord is going to be really boosting his situation here. As you can see, he can afford so much military. He's actually got 44 military leenock, 26 for marinelord. Don't forget, these are Imperial Age units with the elite horsemen, and he's just slowly starting to build up. Reducing from this number of stables, the numbers will start to climb very, very quickly. As you can see, he can afford all of it. He's spending quite a bit amount of his resources there. Got plenty of units being queued up. He's actually going for a culverin as well. As you can see, a long-range cannon made for destroying siege equipment. Looks like leenock's going to try and dive and get the bombard, but he won't be able to with 3 man-at-arms. It just won't be enough, and even the horsemen won't be able to do well against them. The villager's going to repair the bombard. There are crossbowmen in behind that, but of course the horsemen actually get bonus damage against crossbowmen, so that's going to be a problem. As you can see, the elite horsemen are going to use their high movement speed and just narrow down the distance. Bombard takes down one traction trebuchet. It's probably going to take down another. Springward goes down. Or leenock, and leenock's in a really rough spot here. He has to backtrack, and it doesn't seem to be a decent option for him to bring this back, because leenock has gone quite heavy in the Castle Age, and there it is. He calls it GG. So he taps out. Leenock calls the first game, and marinelord takes the first game of the set of this best of 3. We've got the second game coming right up, guys. Don't go anywhere. This is going to spice up very, very quickly. Game number 2, guys. For this best of 3, the first semi-final for the Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy, week number 2. On the east corner of the map, we've got leenock playing in blue as the French. On the west corner of the map, we've got marinelord playing in red as the Delhi Sultanate. So leenock looking to try and even up the series. Marinelord took that first game on Frisian Marshes. Leenock needs to pull one back if he's going to have a chance to progress to the grand finals of the second week for the Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy. French versus Delhi should be an interesting matchup. The French often are relatively aggressive in the early parts of the game, with a couple of early knights there, royal knights, to try and harass their opponent. Marinelord could be quite flexible with the Delhi build, can sometimes think about getting the efficient production or using the scholars for that. I mean, certainly he will be researching that. As you can see, it's the first thing he's actually researching from the mosque. As you guys know by now, most likely, is that the Delhi Sultanate get their research upgrades for free. Their technologies are for free, they just take time to produce them, and the number of scholars that are in the mosque dictate how quickly they are researched. Now, efficient production, we touched upon that. Now, what that does is when the scholars can garrison inside the production buildings, it can boost those military buildings, their production speed by 100%. So it's effectively doubling up. It can save quite a bit of wood in the short term. As you can see, marinelord and leenock looking to get up to the next stage. Leenock's going to get there first with the French School of Cavalry. No surprises there. Often the French go for 2 scouts. I'm not sure if he's got 2 scouts there on the field, leenock. But he's going to be looking to bring as many sheep home in any case. Going for a mill as well, so leenock maybe looking to get a wheelbarrow relatively early with that mill. Going quite heavy on gold, sticking with 4 villages on gold, so that suggests to you, or to me rather, that we're going to be seeing an early knight there or so to harass the opponent. And that's often what's commonly done. Dome of the Faith going down for the Delhi Sultanate. Again, this is a very common landmark. We don't often see the Tower of Victory being used, and marinelord's not changing the trend there today. Okay, so if marinelord does win this game, that will mean he takes the set 2-0 and puts him to the grand final for this Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy week number 2 tournament. Leenock will look to try and put a spanner in the works, get a win in his court, and try and push this to a game 3. We shall see if he can do that. The map is Dry Arabia, by the way, if you haven't already noticed. And so we should be seeing quite an entertaining open game, I suspect. And right after this set, by the way, we're going to be having Kasva versus puppypaw to determine who will play the winner of this set in the grand final. Scout looking to harass each other. Marinelord bringing a second scout, but so is leenock actually. So it's going to be 2 scouts versus 2. We'll see who's got the better micro. It looks like leenock is not going to be able to take this fight. The scout is relatively low on HP and backs off. He's not giving up the chase though. He's going to look to do some damage with this still, with that scout that's weak there for Marinelord. Needs to be careful not to lose the scout though, leenock, because he is in a bad position here. The scouts do heal up on their HP, so we might lose that scout if he's not careful. Needs to back off, he's going to lose the scout. Yeah, that's painful for leenock. That scout goes down. And now it means that Marinelord can actually have a little bit of scouting advantage. 2 scouts to 1. It's small margins. So you can see the next stage coming up for leenock there with the School of Cavalry. And instantly drops an archery range as well. And Marinelord reaches the feudal age as well. And is instantly putting a barracks, which is what you'd expect. And we still see a scholar there going back into the mosque after healing up, I think maybe a bit. Scout, not sure that scholar why he popped out, but he did. And we can see the Dome of the Faith. Looking to start producing these scholars. We can see all these economic upgrades being queued up for Marinelord. Sanctity is an interesting one. We'll be looking to get hold of those sacred sites. Sanctity allows scholars to capture sacred sites before the castle age, and the sacred sites also generate 50% more gold. You can see all the upgrades coming in thick and fast for Marinelord. Okay, a couple of spearmen there, going to protect the gold vein, and now Marinelord actually scouting out what's going on. He notices the archery ranges, so we shall see if we do see a stable. We do, yeah, exactly what Marinelord's doing. He's going to drop down the stable in response to that. We're going for spearmen and stable as an army composition here, quite nice for the Delhi Sultanate, whilst knights are on the field with archers to back them up. There we are, we see that Royal Knight looking to try and do some damage on the woodline, not really getting much value because that woodline is nicely protected by the town centre fire, and so leenock has to think of another angle of attack. And the gold vein is nicely protected by a spearman and a couple of scouts, so that knight won't be unlikely to do too much damage. Gold's not necessarily a massive thing for the Delhi Sultanate in any case, because it just needs 2 villages and gold to maintain constant production of scholars from the Dome of the Faith. As we can see, they are coming out, going into the mosque. I suspect once Sanctity comes in, Marinelord might start to make his way onto the map to those sacred sites. Okay, blacksmith going on for leenock, and this is quite an interesting thing for the French, because once that blacksmith does go down, that will mean the French will have bloomery straight away, which upgrades the knights and melee units in terms of attack. And that will just make the raiding possibility a little bit stronger. Quite a few horsemen on the field there for Marinelord, looking to see what's happening here, acting as scouts almost. And he's actually walled up this side, on the right side of his base, with that spearman. This is a nice touch, offers him a lot of protection. And Marinelord looking to actually wall up the rest of his base. Quite nice, extensive walls he's getting here, from woodline to woodline. Offers him a lot of protection. There's quite a few resources to be had here, guys. There's a safe gold there if you can get that within the walls, which I suspect he will. He's got berries there, which the Delhi Sultanate absolutely love. He's got some deer. And another berry patch there as well, so cornering off this side of the map will be very, very nice for Marinelord to boom out into. The French, though, will be having a villager lead by now because the French town centres do produce faster. 26 villagers for Marinelord, 31 for leenock. You can see that already coming into play. Leenock actually also getting a couple of spearmen himself, looking to protect those archers, of course, because horsemen are on the field for Marinelord. Okay, 3 scholars are in there. Sanctity has been researched. We shall see how aggressive Marinelord is looking to get to those sacred sites. Whether he goes there relatively early or whether he waits and bides his time a bit. Doesn't seem like he's going for them just yet. 8 minutes on the clock, looking to get some map control first, which makes a lot of sense. You don't really want to expose your scholars when they could be researching. It looks like he's looking to wall up pretty quickly before he heads out with his army. Looking to do the walling up with 2 spearmen. And you see leenock now pushing forward a little bit with the scout for vision with a knight, which is actually kind of half health. He's not invested in chivalry just yet. A couple of spearmen and archers there to follow it up, and I think Marinelord will feel comfortable dealing with that. There's not a lot there. Scholars are popping out now, looking to heal up the army as well, so He's got the, as you can see, the archer range is being supervised with the scholars, double producing from that single archer range. Okay, we might see a bit of a fight here. There are two knights there. They definitely can't take that fight. That would be a terrible fight for leenock to take. He's going to back his army up with some spearmen and archers there in the background, but marinelord are quite happy to hold things here for the time being, sniping an archer there for free. And do we see some more scholars coming out onto the field? Not yet. Yeah, well, here we are. The scholars are looking to make a move on this south sacred site. He's got his army in position now. marinelord feels a lot more comfortable doing it. He knows he's walled up behind this, so this is actually quite a nice touch. The walls are offering not just protection as the game goes on, offers him security to be able to move out to the berry patches at the back and not worry about knights raiding. It also offers him security to bring his army forward with his scholars to be able to take relatively effective fights and gather the sacred sites. Looks like, yeah, leenock's going to look to try and get hold of the scholars, but there are two scholars here that might end up healing each other. marinelord looking to take down the archers with the horsemen. Could potentially lose the scholars though. It looks like the spearmen are being microed by leenock. This is an issue for leenock because marinelord will take the sacred site, and it makes sense because leenock can't just focus down on the scholars. If he does that, it leaves the army for leenock completely, for marinelord rather, completely unattacked. And then, as you can see, just as he is now, marinelord taking that fight. He's got the superior numbers. The efficient production are really working quite well. The supervision with the scholars, the horsemen taking down the archers, the spearmen taking down the knight, and the scholars here in for good measure for healing. So this is a nice small victory battle for marinelord. And he will want to keep his army behind though. He won't want to lose his horsemen if he can, because they will be able to be healed up. But he doesn't mind taking the fight against the archers, that's for sure. The knight is still in play, so marinelord will be cleaned up by the army for leenock with the reinforcements coming in, especially with the knights there. But that sacred site has been gathering gold now, and maybe some palisade walls will be going down eventually, but he's going to retreat there, marinelord, because he doesn't quite have the numbers. The royal knight will be looking to take down the scholar. The scholar does have some effective upgrades though, which means that, I mean, that charge attack didn't do too much damage to the scholar. And we see some army here coming for marinelord, a couple of the horsemen and archers to back this up. The sacred site is being neutralized by leenock, but probably not for so long, because the army here is very nice for marinelord. You can see the food income really being good here for marinelord with the berries, and the wood income as well, very nice. He's not having to commit too much to gold. And these units, when they are lost for leenock, is relatively expensive here. These knights do not come cheaply. marinelord quite happy to take this fight. He does have quite a few archers there that don't do too much damage to the knights, but they're doing enough. They're doing enough that they need to, and then he's trying to snipe it before chivalry perhaps comes in. Let's just see if leenock is investing in chivalry. It doesn't seem like it just yet, so maybe look to do a switch to horsemen instead. It does have quite a lot of villages on gold. Maybe look to get to the castle age. I suspect that's more likely, although he's really hurting on the food count, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. marinelord, on the other hand, has a healthy gold income, as we know. That sacred site really helps in that situation, and will be, you know, he'd actually be able to get up to the next stage relatively quickly if he starts to, if he kind of stops producing his horsemen. That food income will start to gather, especially from these berries on the west corner of the map. He's got this the north sacred site as well, and he's walled up the south sacred site. So this is looking, or walling, I should say. The foundations have been placed, but not yet built. marinelord looking to be in strong kind of control of this map. It just feels like leenock took some really bad fights early on, and marinelord looking to make this a 2-0 victory for this semi-final. There are two knights there swooping in. We'll be able to take this spearman out though, that's walling, and neutralize the sacred site, but it hasn't done it. It has actually noticed the spearman there, and it gives time for marinelord to actually head back. There is a third sacred site on the north, so actually, yeah, he's taking the central sacred site. Two sacred sites for marinelord. You can see the gold count looking a bit crazy at this moment. As we said, the castle age might be on the way pretty soon. Quite a few horsemen there. Should be able to take a relatively good fight against the two knights, especially if he focuses this knight down, which is on very low health, and this sacred site has been kept under the control of the Delhi Sultanate, with the hardened spearmen slowly walling that up, and the horsemen looking to take down that knight. That knight does go down, and so good effective fights for marinelord. And there are quite a few archers there for leenock, but that's not going to help him with these against these horsemen. There is the age up coming in for marinelord. What's he going up with? He's going up with a compound of the defender, which will enable his infantry to produce or build walls rather, which should be very nice. marinelord definitely having an advantage in this game so far. I feel leenock struggling for that food income. Very heavy food units, these knights. and won't be looking to get to the castle age anytime soon. With only 56 gold in the bank. Middle sacred site being walled as well, so the gold income is pretty much guaranteed for quite some time for marinelord. Another knight coming in to approach this south sacred site. North sacred site looking to be secured by the horsemen. Knights, we're trying to decap it, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Leenock is under a lot of pressure here. He's going to be under pressure to get up to the castle age and push these sacred sites. Castle age does come in from marinelord. Now marinelord can just more or less sit back in his base if he wants to for a while. Get those key upgrades, which are free by the way, and continue to build the quality of his army. As you can see, central sacred site secure. North one's a little bit exposed, but he can probably secure that with army. The south sacred site is actually being decapped. Marinelord had that one spearman working tirelessly to palisade wall that, but unfortunately wasn't able to do it in time. North sacred site is being decapped now, but Marinelord has quite a lot of army there waiting to bide his time. He's quite happy there to leave that there. Oh, knight might be captured here. It could be a Wololo. Oh, he just misses out. Marinelord just misses out on getting those two knights. And he's actually coming back home with a relic or two. So that will certainly help the late game shenanigans for the Delhi Sultanate here with those relics. I think Leenock is saving up the food to get up to the next stage. Has plenty of gold. As you can see, another sacred site, another relic rather, being taken by Marinelord, which would be very nice. The north sacred site has been decapped. This central one continuously driving the gold income high from Marinelord. As we can see now, horsemen are looking to do some damage on the knights. A lot of horsemen on the field. Very mobile army here for Marinelord. And this might be a fight that Marinelord takes, but he would probably want to wait for the upgrades. Getting the fitted leatherwork against the archers. But I'm going to back off now. I was going to just weave and duck in, duck out. Looking to micro the spearmen with the archers in behind. And taking the spearmen out will certainly help. He's lost quite a lot already, Marinelord. And this is going to be a bit rough for Marinelord. I'm not sure this is a great fight for him. Quite a few knights there, but there is one lancer there for Marinelord. Let's not underestimate the two lancers, three lancers. Actually, they're not very good at counting. There are four lancers here with this one coming in to join the works, and do not underestimate the lancers. They're incredibly powerful. I mean, knights themselves, these royal knights are incredibly powerful against archers, but these are castle age units, guys. Make no mistake about it. These guys absolutely rip through archers, let alone feudal archers. Lancers are popping out for Marinelord, looking to continue with the cavalry play and the map control that offers. We shall see if there's any second town centre going down for Marinelord. Doesn't seem like it. Let's not forget though, the French economy can be strong at the situation. 57 villagers to 53. Actually, not that strong overall. Going up with the guild hall here, Leenock. So looking to play the late game. Not going for the Royal Institute for the upgrades just yet. Alright, the game's kind of calming down a little bit. Both players kind of hanging back, as we can see that. Relic going to be picked up by Marinelord. A very nice relic count. Let's take a look at how many he's got. He's got 3 so far. Fourth one will be coming in. And yeah, it's looking strong here from Marinelord. You kind of have to be a little bit worried about Leenock's position. Not yet in the castle age. And as you can see, there's quite a few lancers here on the field. Marinelord could just look to deny this guild hall even. He's not going to spot it in time. The guild hall will probably go up, but not without casualties. I'm sure a couple of villages will go down. The lancers will take effective trades against the spearmen. And the village is actually going to back off. Maybe lose 1 or 2 to the archers. It doesn't seem like there is a Wololo going on somewhere. I don't quite see it. I think it might be on the right. Yeah, villagers. Ooh, okay. Marinelord catches one of those villages on berries. That could have been absolutely devastating if he lost 16 villages there, Leenock, but he doesn't. The scholar comes back and he's going to head back home with that relic. Will he get there in time? Will there be some knights in his face? Doesn't seem like it. There's a bit of an altercation in the middle. But a lot of archer numbers for Leenock. Forward castle, forward keep being put down by Marinelord on the central sacred site. So this sacred site will be very nicely protected. Going for a mosque forward as well. I'm not entirely sure why, but it is there. I'm sure there's a reason to it. There's a big fight here with the tower elephants and the lancers involved. Quite a few hardened spearmen for the French though, so that will be doing good work. I don't think this is a fight that Marinelord can take, but he's going to take it anyway. And as I said, he's going to pull this back. I think he needs to just delay to let this keep go up, but Leenock's going to see this and look to micro down the villages. I suspect he's not microing the villages. The keep will go up. Leenock will need to head back because he's going to lose a lot of archers underneath the keep. And the keep does go up. That offers a lot of protection, so it was worth it in the end to lose his lancers that enable this keep to go up. And it offers a lot of map control at this point for Marinelord. Marinelord could actually afford another keep, so I might be looking to put a keep on another sacred site. Another relic being brought in, or was that the one? Was that just a long journey he was making? Seems like it. 4 relics in the bag. 5th one coming in for Marinelord. His gold income's going to be absolutely bonkers. He's got 12 villages on there. 1200 gold from 2 sacred sites and 4 relics, soon to be 5. Getting control of the north sacred site as well. As you can see, village fortresses coming in where the keeps act like town centers. And it's getting those keeps down. And that's going to be really, really nice for Marinelord as the game progresses. But a lot of food income now for leenock. He has really ramped up that food income. We saw him struggling earlier. But he's looking to get the free food on the map, on the right side of the map with the deer and the berries. But he is being pushed here with a couple of tower elephants, a couple of lancers, and Marinelord looking strong with the elephant count. There is the 3rd sacred site coming in now. leenock looking just to prepare an army to deal with this. Doesn't really have that much, has to be said. 29 military for Marinelord, 37, 38 for leenock, so maybe he does. I take it back, I just don't know where they are. There they are, hiding in the bushes, these veteran archers coming back home. They'll be able to do decent work against the elephants and the scholars as well, but these lancers will be a problem. As you can see, the scholars are healing up those elephants, and that could become a really big problem for leenock if he doesn't address that soon, because you don't want to be facing up against a mass of scholars, which are starting to build up. As you can see, Marinelord continuously producing those scholars. Five relics, guys. That's a lot of relics. Marinelord looking to delay the food income there with an outpost, but leenock does take that down. leenock looking to decap that north sacred site. Marinelord probably not too worried about that. Getting a forward keep there, which is actually a very nice position. Gives them a foothold to attack from, and also denies that gold for leenock with 5 tower elephants now looking to do some damage. A lot of spearmen on the field for leenock. We'll need to get a good surround on the elephants, especially with the scholars there in behind to heal up. This could become a problem because the elephants now are pressurizing the guild hall. A 3rd keep coming down from Marinelord. He's been collecting a lot of stone, it seems. An early knight, or sorry, a veteran royal knight getting in there for leenock. Likely to be for the overchop here. Actually, it doesn't seem like he ever really walled up this part of the base, which is fine because he's got his army here anyway. Lots of scholars going forward, looking to back this army up. The elephants there doing damage, and this castle is going to be devastating for leenock. He'll need to shift his whole economy. He's actually going to try and push this back with the spearmen and the archers there coming in clutch as well. But there's a keep there in the way. He's not going to want to dive this too high aggressively because leenock might lose everything. This keep going up on the right side as well might be good timing for him, but the villagers do pull back because that keep won't go up just yet with the archers in behind looking to micro that down. But a lot of scholars there. Tower elephants will be microed back, and they're doing a lot of damage. The scholars will be microed down by the archers, so a couple of scholars going down now, and that will leave the tower elephants exposed to being attacked. But leenock looking just to chase down those villagers. The villagers will pull away though, and again the tower elephants looking to put pressure. This keep is only about sort of 50% built. It isn't fully built just yet. Lancers are still joining the fight. There are crossbows here moving down to the south, looking to protect the economy because Marinelord is heading there in that direction. And this is going to be huge actually. Well, actually no, I mean it could have been huge had leenock not reacted. Marinelord going to be losing 2 lancers there relatively cheaply, but he's got a lot on his plate already. Looking to still get that keep up with the villagers there. But he's under pressure here because the guild hall will go down now. leenock won't have access to that. I don't know if I think he just actually collected the resources before that got destroyed. That's a smart move because only 20 resources still left in there. I'm not sure which resource he gathered. Looks like it could have been gold. And the tower elephant's now looking to put some pressure. I think he's in big trouble here, leenock. Still got 54 military. Most of those are probably archers. I just don't see where they are. I suspect they're hiding here down the south, looking to protect the economy. Not entirely sure where they are. Doesn't seem to be clear on the minimap. They're actually going towards the sacred site here to deny the south sacred site on the map. We shall see how they fare. The tower elephant's looking to damage that capital town centre now. That will be the 2nd landmark to take down with the tower elephants, looking to do some damage. Maybe looking to focus fire on the school of cavalry next, taking out the villagers. Keep doing a lot of damage here, so the food economy struggling to pick up for leenock here. There is a trebuchet there looking to take down the keeps for leenock, but doesn't really have the army to back it up. A lot of villagers on wood. leenock is going to have a lot of wood in the bank relatively soon. 44 villagers on wood. He just doesn't know what to do with those villagers. Has no one on food, guys. This is not a good sign for leenock. That is for sure. That's signs of hard times. There's famine for the French here. in this second game of this best of three. Lots of this is an incredible number of tower elephants now. This is looking very, very rough for leenock. A lot of spearmen there, but they're being microed by the tower elephants, and any damage that these tower elephants do sustain from the archers, well, they're just being healed up, and you can always run back to the keep, which does have boiling oil as well. So leenock can't get too close. And there it is, guys. There's a GG. leenock taps out. marinelord is through to the final for the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy. Week number 2, the second semi-final to see who plays up against marinelord is coming right next. Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second set, the second group of semi-finals. And the winner of this semi-finals will go to play on to the grand finals against marinelord, to try and help book their ticket to the Redbull Wololo Legacy in Heidelberg, Germany. On the east corner of the map, we've got puppypaw playing in blue as the Rus civilization, and in the south corner of the map, we have got kasva playing in red as the Chinese. The map is Frisian Marshes, one of the new maps for this particular tournament, developed by Adne, and it's a fantastic map. We've discovered this map on the beginning parts of this video, if you've seen it as well, in the last set between marinelord and leenock, and that was a fantastic set. So we're going to continue, and whoever, unfortunately leenock didn't make it in that, marinelord managed to get 2 wins to 0, securing his position in the grand final. And today we've got kasva versus puppypaw, Rus versus the Chinese. Now it'll be interesting to see how the Chinese have played on this map. I don't think we've seen the Chinese being played on this map, and the Chinese can be relatively aggressive with the amount of food that's on the field, especially supervising the wood count. Could be pretty early aggression here, especially with supervising the production buildings for the Chinese. On the other hand, with the Rus, they seem to be relatively favoured on this map, considering the amount of bounty that's available to be taken. You can see how many wolves puppypaw already has with the extra scouts that are on the field. The goals are relatively exposed, so kasva could look to pressure that early on. As you can see, the gold is relatively far forward here for puppypaw, but he won't be relying on that just yet to be able to get to the feudal age. As you can see, puppypaw already has 200 gold, and so he could, he's already getting wheelbarrow as well. So this is crazy amounts of bounty, guys. This means that puppypaw has been able to get enough bounty to cover both wheelbarrow and aging up. Not to mention that he has a hunting cabin, which is passively generating gold, 24 gold per minute. And so the gold is not even really much of an issue for puppypaw. I think to an extent that's probably why the Rus are so strong on this map, because gold is relatively risky and exposed here, while there's a lot of sheep coming in for kasva. And so not needing too much gold in the early game is pretty important, I suspect, as a really good bonus for the Rus, just considering things strategically there. Also, the Barbican of the Sun can be quite nice for the Chinese, offering that protection for the gold. It looks like he's going to be placing this defensively. No outpost rush coming in for kasva here today on this map. Building it with 2 villagers, and there is a scout there looking to harass the village on gold. And the Rus civilization now going up to the feudal age with the Golden Gate. No surprises there. One of the strongest landmarks in feudal age. We shall see if it's going to be a 2 town centre play for the Rus. We've seen that quite often recently. 2 town centre play with the Rus is quite effective with using the Golden Gate to buy the stone. Can be a very nice option. Villagers that kasva have here building the landmark are being harassed a little bit. There are 3 scouts on the field, let's not forget that. So that village is going to be being pulled back by kasva to the safety of the town centre. It will bring him back home nice and safely. But it's just idle time, which is not ideal. Being caused there by puppypaw, meaning that puppypaw should get to the feudal age a bit quicker, because although, actually having said that, the Chinese villagers do build really fast. Oh, kasva, this could be a bit of a mistake here. He's actually sending a weak villager forward. He pulls it back. There is a scout there looking to defend for kasva. The Barbican of the Sun does go up, and so puppypaw decides to pull those scouts back before they get taken out by the Barbican of the Sun. We shall see how puppypaw plays this in the feudal age when he gets there. Alright, kasva is now moving on to wood himself. Let's take a look at the resources for kasva, whether he's thinking about Song Dynasty. Not really, he's going quite aggressive with that feudal age time, to be fair. 4.5 minutes. Maybe looking to get some production buildings when he has enough wood for it. He doesn't quite have that just yet. Only moved out to wood just now, so we'll need that wood income. And speaking of wood income, puppypaw going for the wooden fortress which actually boosts the wood return by 20%, which is very, very nice. And he's got wheelbarrow as well, looking to perhaps get double broadaxe once he can afford it with the gold, just relying on the passive gold so far with the hunting cabin and any bounty that he might be able to get. Killing sheep could be a nice option, get 5 gold a piece per sheep. We'll see if he decides to do that, or just keep him alive for just a little bit longer. Stable going down for puppypaw, probably anticipating archers coming in, but nothing scouted because there's nothing to be scouted for kasva here. Quite heavy on gold actually. I mean, could kasva... I mean, kasva's got a lot on gold here, supervising it as well. I mean, just supervising everything anyway, to be fair. He might be looking to go for a Song Dynasty here. And that's a... Actually, I thought that was the Imperial Academy. It's not. It's a barracks going down. Looking to get some spearmen on the field, maybe looking to counter the stable that he's probably seen by now. Let's just see if he's seen that. He has seen that. So he knows that early knights could be a thing here. Although, without being on gold, probably not. Maybe horsemen instead. Puppypaw actually moving out now. I think, yeah, Puppypaw was going for a 2-town centre play. We'd called it. He's going to be placing there a nice spot there on the shorefish. The deer and gold is relatively, and wood as well. I mean, it's got literally everything you could want here. That's a fantastic town centre spot. I mean, that could have been a nice spot as well with 2 shorefish, but he wants to balance things a little bit with the gold there. That's a nice spot, especially with gold, as we said earlier, being quite risky, I should say. But the village is now for kasva, looking to get some stone. Not going to be able to do that nice and calmly because there are 3 scouts there being annoying. But there's a spearman on the field for kasva, looking to defend those stone villages. I suspect kasva will be looking to get that second town centre relatively soon, maybe even the Song Dynasty, which he'll be able to afford relatively soon. And I suspect that could be a thing because he's actually collected almost 200 gold. He's come off of gold now. He's taken villages off of gold. Maybe looking to deposit a bit more to get that 200 mark for that Song Dynasty. Getting some villagers here forward. I'm not sure why. Towards the stone, that is. Okay, looking to go to the stone. He wants to get that second town centre as soon as possible to match Puppypaw's second town centre. Although, I don't know if he's seen this second town centre or not. He hasn't seen it, so he doesn't quite know what Puppypaw is going for here. And Spearman looking to get the chase down. There is a horseman there for Puppypaw. Getting a few hits there. There's the Imperial Academy, so Song Dynasty will be activated. Looks like 2 town centre Song Dynasty here for kasva. Getting enough wood slowly. And just a little bit behind on the stone, but 8 villagers there. Looking to maybe look for a town centre on the shoreline there, possibly. We shall see where he decides to put it. I suspect that would be the logical place to go. Puppypaw, on the other hand, going for an arch range, double arch range. This is quite commonly a thing, so instead of a boar play, obviously you don't really need the boar with the amount of shorefish here. He's actually going for the deer. That's actually rather surprising, because he does have wheelbarrows, so it's rather surprising that they're going for the deer there rather than the shorefish. But Puppypaw will do Puppypaw, and he may be saving those shorefish for a rainy day. Imperial Academy almost there. Song Dynasty will be activated with that. A lot of sheep there for kasva still to be taken. Okay. Kasva going for a second town centre actually near his main base, so he's actually going to be relying on the sheep for a little bit longer, looking to keep the town centres together to have consolidated economy and maybe push out from there. But Puppypaw looking to be a bit more aggressive now with the 2 arch rangers and stable. Let's just see what army he has on the field. Not a lot just yet, but they will be building up. They will be building up. A couple of archers and an early knight there looking to harass kasva's economy. But the Barbican of the Sun will do quite well to protect this food economy. Nice placement with that, and the wood economy will be relatively safe here with the town centre there as well. So interesting match so far. Relatively passive, has to be said. Both players going 2 town centres for an economy approach. But Puppypaw does seem to be producing quite more military now. Going for Wooden Fortress on the front line as well. Looking to offer some map control. He's actually going to dive this and look to get some gold villagers out of the equation. But the Barbican of the Sun is going to do some work to take some HP off that early knight. We shall see if Puppypaw actually has a blacksmith yet for iron undermesh. He does. He does have that, and he doesn't quite have anything researched just yet. Maybe looking to, well, he's going to need the gold for that. Doesn't have much gold. As you can see, he's quite committing to the archers. And who could blame them with the wood income being relatively insane. I mean, with the wheelbarrow, double broadaxes in play just yet? No, he's not. Okay. It just feels like he's struggling with the gold to be able to get those upgrades just at the moment. Really focusing on the unit numbers just for now. Probably doesn't have enough units to really justify it just yet, but he's slowly starting to build up. An outpost goes there for kasva, looking to further enhance that gold protection, but he is being pushed off gold with the Wooden Fortress being there as well. So it's just a little bit of a precarious position for those villages, but looks to be relatively well secured now with the outpost being there. But Kaz is going to need to do something to expand to the left before he gets pigeonholed, because you can just see what puppypaw is looking to achieve here. Blacksmith will be going down for some upgrades. But puppypaw are looking to build up the armors of the army here, the numbers of army. The archers are looking to just die things. If they can just get a village or two, that'd be nice for him. That looks like what he wants to do, but has to pull back and continues to produce those archers from the 2 archery ranges and building the economy behind this. Let's take a look at the village count. Obviously the Song dynasty will be kicking in here. Puppypaw on 42 villagers. 39 for Kasva, which is rather surprising actually. He's not been able to maintain constant production with the 2 town centres. That's really surprising. I mean, I suppose Puppypaw was at this 2nd town centre a lot earlier. So as the game progresses, as long as he maintains production here, Kasva, it doesn't seem like he is. Yeah, I mean, the 2nd town centre is actually idle. He doesn't have the food for it. He's relying very much on the sheep. Does have 20 villagers on food though. That just shows you how much food is needed for the Song dynasty and 2 town centres. Puppypaw doing what Kasva usually does, which is getting a lot of map control with army and static defences in the form of outposts, or in the case of the Rus, the wooden fortresses. 3rd archery range going down for Puppypaw, looking to knuckle down in this feudal age. Kasva, on the other hand, floating quite a bit of wood, maybe looking to now transition into farming economy, which makes sense. This is a little bit awkward for Kasva because there's a lot of free shorefish here. I'm not sure why he's not transitioning there. It just feels a little bit awkward for Kasva. He has come back on the back end of a very, very long quarter-final match. But it just feels a little bit awkward going for that farming economy. I'm sure he's got a plan up his sleeves. As I've been told, as a developing caster, that, you know, if a pro player does something, it's usually for a good reason. And it's usually the caster's job to try and find that reason. I'm sure there's a reason for that for Kasva. Probably doesn't feel comfortable moving to the left side, really, because he knows that the Rus can be relatively aggressive. And so he doesn't want to isolate his economy. So that's probably the reason I can think of. And that forces him to be defensive with his economy and expansion, and having to place the farms near his town centre rather than go for the shorefish, which Puppypaw has no problem with. He's actually gathering the shorefish now, and it just feels a little bit rough for Kasva when you look at things holistically from a macro perspective. Despite having 2 town centre Song dynasty, he's actually behind in villagers, and not only that, he's actually collecting resources suboptimally. Well, not suboptimally, but as in less optimal, less efficient than Puppypaw. The gather rate for these shorefish is insane, and he's got a lot of villagers doing it, 13 of them to be precise. But the numbers are building in terms of army for the Chinese, and there are predominantly archers, a couple of spearmen, and that's a nice army composition against the Rus. But it has to be said that the Rus, I feel like they have an edge on this, because when you have an army composition of archers and spearmen, well, your opponent can just double down and just go full archers. And well, the Rus are very good at doing that with their wood income. Rams are on the field now with a couple of early knights to protect them, and looking to take out this forward outpost. And the wood income, let's take a look. It's actually 26 villagers on wood. As you can see, Puppypaw really spending that wood income with the archery rangers producing here. And constant producing of army here. Kasva is under pressure. Doesn't seem like he has enough. He's got horsemen and a couple of Zhugnu and some archers in behind. He needs to, yeah, he's supervising the stable though. So we'll be looking to produce more army, but he is behind on economy and the military. So that's a bit rough. 58 villagers to 60, 41 military to 66. Puppypaw looking very strong. Villagers being pulled there from the sheep, and as you can see, the sheep now expiring. A full transition to farms will be needed by Kasva, and it just doesn't have that wood. So it's going to be quite a harsh transition, a very harsh transition when you consider he's only got 4 farms and no shorefish economy. Feels like Puppypaw seems to be in a strong position. Hunting camping going down as well for that passive gold income, and the shorefish there, and it feels like a really rough situation to be not going for the shorefish. I'm not sure if Kasva is just completely misreading this map, which is very uncharacteristic. Kasva is a fantastic strategist. We've seen it time and time again, how he just interprets the map and plays it to his advantage. Villagers being pulled again, more idle time. A lot of villagers building a house because they're being housed, 23 of them, and just struggling for food economy here. Puppypaw really starting to put some pressure. Horsemen are starting to come out for Kasva. Puppypaw in no rush to protect them. He is starting to head off forward now with the archers in behind of the early knights. And the early knights going to tank very, very nicely with the archers looking to micro down the horsemen. They will be able to, they won't be able to quite one-shot them. It looks like two-shotting them. Yeah, two-shotting them will be there. for the archers. Looks like attack move micro being used by puppypaw in the stealth forest is going to micro down the horsemen. The horseman numbers here are starting to dwindle. The archer numbers for puppypaw a little bit nuts. And I think puppypaw won't mind losing the rams, considering he's getting good damage per second against the army. You see, whilst Kasva's focusing his fire on the rams, puppypaw is focusing on his army, and the military count now is 74 for puppypaw, 37 for Kasva. Kasva's slowly losing his grip on this match. There is a wooden fortress there with arrow slits as well, adding to the problems for Kasva. Kasva reinforces with horsemen and some spearmen, but it's not going to be enough, guys. The archer numbers are absolutely nuts for puppypaw, and even with the horsemen there, as you can see, two-shotting them, almost one-shotting them now. And the horsemen are dwindling, the spearmen are going down, Kasva's looking under a lot of pressure. There is a ram to follow this up, and Kasva's looking incredibly exposed here. 73 military to 15. Kasva is in a very, very rough spot here. And I feel like this just comes down to the macro opportunity that he had. The second town centre for puppypaw unlocked a whole new world of resources for his villagers. You cannot say the same for Kasva's. The second town centre only gave him what he had before, which was that wood line. Ram does go down for puppypaw, so that buys a little bit more time for Kasva, looking to destroy some of the early knights. But you can see the early knights are being absolutely tickled by these Jugnus. It's just not enough. The Jugnus slowly being taken down by the early knights, which I'm sure by now will have the iron undermesh upgrade. Yeah, they do indeed have that bloomery coming in to add more problems for Kasva. Of course, to be reminded that the winner of this game will go on to the grand finals to face up against marinelord in the Road to Redbull Wololo, hosted by ECGTV. Big shout out to ECGTV for hosting such a fantastic tournament, giving us quality games to be entertained by. I hope you guys are enjoying the cast. And now puppypaw moves over to the economy on the left side, looking just to... Oh god, this is so rough for Kasva, losing loads of villagers and outposts, not enough there. Again, Kasva expanding on the left side with 2 outposts on the shorefish. He needs that food income, but it just feels like it's too little too late here with the early knights now moving in. Going to take out villagers on the outposts. Some of the villagers will be dying. Some of them will not be able to return home to their families. Only 1 outpost, which is fully garrisoned now, so these villagers are going to be dying confirmed. And the village count now looking rough for Kasva. Despite being 2 town centres of Song Dynasty, 83 villagers for puppypaw, 64 for Kasva. Puppypaw knows that he's ahead, is quite happy to now just to take out pockets of villagers here and just move behind this. Let's just see what he's doing back home. He's just producing more production buildings, as you can see, a lot of them now. Added more stables in for good measure. And hunting cabins going down on the field. Puppypaw looks to be in a strong position, getting berries as well. Could even potentially go for the boar once the shorefish has expired, but he's not done with them just yet, it seems, because he's going for the shorefish here on the north of the map, with a hunting cabin there for good measure as the drop-off point. And Kasva is looking to now take down this wooden fortress. That'll take some time. Going to idle a lot of villagers to do that. It's going to lose 1 or 2 of them as well because of the arrow slits. Early knights getting involved as well. 18 villagers. I mean, this wooden fortress is not going down particularly fast. Kasva does lose 1 villager, likely to lose more. And there's a lot of archers there for puppypaw. This could be the beginning of the end. Puppypaw going to snipe a lot of villagers, I suspect. The villagers will start to hide in the Barbican and Sun, but not enough room in the Barbican. And now this is a heck of a lot of archers here for puppypaw. It looks like it's going to be a problem here for Kasva to deal with. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, because there are 80 archers, guys. This is a feudal age affair. And puppypaw looking to secure the first win of the set, I suspect. Looking to be in a strong, promising position to do so. Kasva looking to expand here on the west for the gold income. But you just feel like the economy here for puppypaw is a little bit too intense. Almost population capped in feudal age. 92 economy, 106 military, 54 economy for Kasva, 17. I'm not sure if Kasva realizes how far back he really is. Puppypaw can just dive now with his archers. He won't mind losing them because, frankly, he's population capped, and so he can just dive things and take a fight if he wants to. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to take down the Barbican and the Sun with the archers, not even waiting for the ram. He's got 79 archers to do it with. Yeah, this is looking very rough for Kasva, and puppypaw going to start to focus down the Jugnu. He's not even going to bother. Just going to look to focus fire on the Barbican and the Sun. Doesn't mind losing army here. Early Knight's going to dive in though to the archers, and the archers going to follow back up for puppypaw. The Barbican and the Sun, that last defense more or less, is going to be going down. And now the next thing is the town center and the Imperial Academy, which is now completely surrounded by the Rus archers. As you can see, 600 wood in the bank, We'll be popping down more rams, but not in really any rush here for puppypaw. And there is the new age. Wait, what? Okay, that is the new age. That's a castle age time going in for puppypaw. Kasva calls it. He unfortunately loses the first game under kind of awkward circumstances on Frisian Marshes. Puppypaw getting the first game of the set of best of 3, looking to get to the finals to face up against marinelord. Don't go anywhere, guys. Second game coming right up. Welcome back, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 for this best of 3 between kasva and puppypaw, the winner of whom would go to the grand final for the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy to face up against marinelord. We've got on the west corner of the map, kasva playing in blue as the Mongols. On the east corner of the map, we've got puppypaw playing in red as the Delhi Sultanate. The map is Arabia, and just looking at the spawn is actually quite nice for kasva, has to be said. He's got his wood line, he's got his gold, and his ovo is not too far away. He's also got this really nice back berry patch as well as deer patch. And just so, like, a single wall across the map here to the edge of the map will actually unlock a lot of potential for him. The berries, the deer, the gold, and securing that wood line. But we shall see. Mongols often typically are played relatively aggressive. We shall see how kasva plays this one. He's up against the Delhi Sultanate in puppypaw. And puppypaw winning the first game on Frisian Marshes is looking to seal this best of 3 with a 2-0 victory and get himself to the finals against marinelord. Of course, both these players are incredibly strong, and both of these players are fighting to be able to reach Heidelberg in Germany for Redbull Wololo Legacy. We shall see if either player gets to the final, if one of them can do it. marinelord already has his place confirmed at Heidelberg, Germany for Redbull Wololo Legacy, courtesy of winning the Golden League. Alright, Khan going forward for kasva, harassing the gold villagers as the Khan often does, but the Khan has been, well, adjusted, I would say, because they can now longer not fire whilst moving in the Dark Age. Okay, in true Mongol style, we see a blacksmith going up. We did see kasva on his route to this matchup use the kind of outpost rush against Beastie QT, and it worked well for him. So it looks like he's looking to replicate that against puppypaw, getting that blacksmith up, sorry, the barracks up rather. Most likely to go for some spearmen, maybe sending a forward villager. But we shall see if it does that. He's gone for a second scout to collect as many sheep as possible. And as you can see, that forward villager is going forward right bang on time, that outpost rush. Puppypaw will look to defend that. Playing as the Delhi here has got his gold relatively exposed, but it's not necessarily a huge problem for him because the Delhi aren't all that reliant on gold, but they will want to get that gold so that they can get scholars, because of course the upgrades are absolutely free, so he will be queuing up all his upgrades, as you can see here, wheelbarrow coming in from the mill. And yeah, we won't need to spend gold for that, that's for sure. Okay, villager, where has that villager gone? Has that villager been scouted? Okay, that's actually quite rough. The villager has been scouted, so puppypaw going to be sending that back, but there are spearmen looking to protect the villager. I'm not sure if kasva's going to continue. He is going to continue with that villager going forward. He's got the spearmen to defend, so puppypaw will be aware of this happening now. Maybe looking to put some preemptive measures in. Maybe, well, I don't know, he might just be quite happy, content, just mining the gold that he needs. He's up to the next stage in terms of building the Dome of the Faith. And so he probably won't be too worried about losing access to gold for now. But what he will probably want to do is secure his wood line if he sees that things are heading that way. But he's keeping an eye on things. He's got 2 scouts, looking to see if he needs to be too worried about it. As we can see, the outpost now is going down on the gold. And there's quite a lot of sheep there for kasva that he won't want to lose by losing the Khan. But it doesn't really seem like that's likely to happen in this situation. That outpost will go down. And puppypaw will look to move those villagers back home to the security of his town centre. Maybe going to the food underneath the town centre, the sheep. And we'll be focusing on pushing this back in the feudal age, which he will be getting to the feudal age relatively quickly here with the Dome of the Faith being built by 4 villagers. kasva's side of things at the moment, he has not started collecting gold just yet, and does have a fair few villagers on food, 11 of them, looking to get that food income to just recalibrate his economy and look to get to the next stage. He's actually going to try and siege down this mining camp, so puppypaw will be, well, the sieging down of the mining camp will give kasva a little bit of gold, and that will help him get up to the next stage. Another outpost going down for kasva here on that wood line, looking to push puppypaw back off this wood line. But puppypaw will be getting to the fuselage rather relatively soon, and I suspect we'll be dropping down archery ranges to protect and try and push this outpost rush back. I suspect this outpost will be going up though. Delhi aren't the quickest to get to the fuselage, and this mining camp will be going down, giving kasva that little gold boost. He's got some villagers on gold now, 4 of them, and he is looking to get to that next stage relatively soon. Okay, continuing to send some spearmen, another group of 2 spearmen going forward. Just looking to protect the outpost rush, maybe garrison the outpost with a spearman or 2. And but fuselage is on. It has been activated for puppypaw. As you can see, kasva are going to go to the fuselage very, very soon. Stable going down and an archery range. So puppypaw looking to make this a fuselage affair. We saw that in the last game, that puppypaw has a very strong fuselage game. And why not with the Delhi Sultanate when you can get sanctity and those sacred sites? So kasva looking to try and get some map control with the outpost. We saw this against Beastie Cutie actually. Going for an outpost on the gold and then a double outpost on the wood line. Just to make this extra annoying to deal with. And being in the fuselage, he will be able to afford arrow slits as well, with the Ovu constantly generating that stone for him. And remaining some villagers on gold. Going up with the deer stones, which will unlock the yam network for the Mongols and kasva, which can be activated by the outposts that are on the field. Okay, the Khan sees what's going on and has to back off. Puppypaw does have some army on the field now. 2 horsemen, 2 archers. A scholar going towards the mosque as well to increase the research time. Or, sorry, reduce the research time. Increase the speed of the research time. But Puppypaw hasn't... has he actually... Yeah, I mean, that's kind of awkward. He hasn't actually clicked his upgrades there. So he will want to do that. Economy upgrades is something that you don't want to miss out on. He hasn't done it yet. It's been quite some time since it's been in the fuselage, so that's a little bit awkward. We do see sometimes players forgetting this. Obviously, the Delhi Sultan different to the other civilizations in that way. And we do see arrow slits coming in for the outposts for kasva now. All 3 of them being upgraded with arrow slits. Scholars continuing to come out. Again, no economy upgrades clicked here for puppypaw. This is pretty awkward, has to be said. Stable going down for kasva, looking to reinforce his army here with horsemen, I suspect. Alright, a little bit of a fight here with the sacred sites. It looks like puppypaw is slowly starting to move out. He does have sanctity on the way. Maybe looking to secure the sacred sites with the palisade walls, which we often see Delhi players doing. Going for the... I believe that's the central sacred site, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is the central sacred site, which is actually relatively close to the Delhi Sultanate here. The way it spawns, so that's pretty fortunate for him. Looks like kasva is really committed to the spearmen, has upgraded them to hardened as well, looking to raid that wood line. He's done that pretty nicely, using the yam network now to back off. And I mean, if kasva had an outpost on that wood line, this would have been a serious problem for puppypaw, but he didn't do it, and now puppypaw can move over to the north corner of that wood line and quite safely, relatively, gather the wood that he needs. 2 horsemen on the field for puppypaw, looking to do some damage, chasing down the Mongol horsemen, and looking to just put some pressure on the Ovu. A scout coming towards those horsemen as well, and a spearman. Another villager going forward. I think kasva's going for another outpost. It seems on that wood line. I'm not sure he's going to be able to pull that off, to be honest. It's pretty ballsy, considering the army that puppypaw has, and can reinforce in that area. Second site, now all up in the middle. I suspect a scholar will be going out there, but he's actually going to be supervising his stable and archery ranges. So this is effectively a double archery range, double stable production for the Delhi Sultanate, looking to get the army on the field and clear the path for a scholar to activate the sacred site. kasva looking to siege down the palisade walls to get in there and protect and to stop that getting up, getting access to the sacred site for the Delhi. I don't think that outpost is going to go around kasva. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure where the villager's gone. Has started to make the way. Puppypaw does see it. It's going to snipe the villager, I suspect, with the horseman. No textiles for the villagers, I don't believe. And now Puppypaw can look to siege the outposts with the horseman. He's actually going to back off. Not looking to take that fight just yet. Doesn't want to lose numbers unnecessarily. And now the sacred sites are being activated by Puppypaw. That's going to leave a very nice trickle of gold. He's got the army to protect as well. And he's going to just camp inside the sacred site. And he's getting good value DPS here. Going to snipe her. Almost snipe a horseman for free. Puppypaw actually moving out with his scholars. I think sometimes selecting all idle military does that. And that's pretty rough because, well, it's not too bad. He's going to send them back his notice. That's the main thing. And kasva now actually denying this woodline. That's actually huge. I'm pretty surprised Puppypaw doesn't have his army in position, but he's starting to bring them back. There are a couple of spearmen there, so he doesn't want to engage just yet. Archer number's pretty low for Puppypaw where it matters. He does have the archers there now, but he won't want to take this fight just yet. Looking to regroup. Actually going to hide in the behind the wooden palisades, and the archers will be able to do the amazing work there. This is a very nice micro for Puppypaw because he can shoot behind the walls. It's not a problem for him, and that outpost is still not going to be able to go up. As you can see, Puppypaw looking to now defend that wood line with some army. Actually, the army is going to go straight past and just leave those woodcutters alone. And Puppypaw does have one in the sacred site now. Is going to get that gold trickle in. Isn't actually mining gold anywhere else, but despite that, is climbing in the gold department, getting 140 gold per minute. That's effectively the 3.5 villages there. And there is a bit of a fight here. The scholars are looking to repair things. The arrow maneuver going for the Khan. So yeah, the maneuver arrow. And this is a fight that's actually pretty rough for kasva because of the scholars in particular. The archers are going to do good work against the hardened spearmen. Some of the spearmen are very, very low in health. Will be sniped down before they can run away. Horsemen there in good numbers though for kasva to reinforce against the archers. The archers will be under pressure here from the horsemen. Quite a lot of horsemen here on the field. There is one horseman there for Puppypaw, but there is arrow slits in that outpost doing good work against them. The scholars going to be looking to repair or heal up the archers as they take a relatively good trade. The scholars might need to retreat back here because there aren't that many archers there to fight off these horsemen. As we said though, the archers are actually holding this down. Well, horseman goes down for the Mongols. This is not a fight that the Mongols can take. The 5 scholars coming in clutch here. The archers going to be able to push this back. And that outpost that was anticipated by kasva not going to go up. He did actually start building it, so he did invest some wood into that. Kasva in the background looking quite strong in the gold department, maybe looking to get up to the next stage if he decides to stop producing horsemen. It doesn't look like something he's going to want to do though. He's actually got triple stable. That's a bit nuts. He's looking to be very aggressive in the feudal age. Doesn't want Puppypaw to have free reign of those sacred sites, and that's kind of understandable. The sacred sites grant a lot of gold, as you saw, the equivalent of 3.5 villages. kasva has actually put an outpost there, but there's nothing there in terms of arrow slits. Oh, he does have arrow slits. Take that back. Arrow slits coming in clutch there for kasva, looking to deny that sacred site being taken by Puppypaw. Another villager going forward. The Khan has been killed, I'm afraid, but the villager going forward, maybe for the outpost again. There is a big fight here underneath the outpost. I'm not sure this is that cost effective for Puppypaw. He's going to lose a lot here. Mongol's doing great work with the number of horsemen here. He's got a lot of horsemen and just archers there, meaning that practically going full horseman here is the play for kasva, because up against horsemen and archers, and well, all he will need is horsemen. But having to say, this is effectively a good trade. I'm pretty surprised with how the fight's turning out. Puppypaw looking in point here. Looks like he's got some key upgrades, I suspect. Probably the blacksmith upgrades that the Delhi do get for free. Let's not forget, it does have bloomery. So I think bloomery is probably the big difference here, because there's no blacksmith on the field for kasva, and he took that fight. I mean, bloomery came in clutch there, I suspect. Not to mention the steeled arrow, which he doesn't actually have steeled arrow, but I thought he could have. It's actually bloomery that did it there, and the outpost now will be going down. Kasva's forward static defenses will be taken down slowly. The horsemen did garrison in, but they will be going down now with the horsemen from Puppypaw and the archers to support them. Okay, Puppypaw certainly has a lead here in military, that is for sure. You can see that on the field. 17 military for Puppypaw, 8 for the Mongols, played by kasva. Kasva waiting for his Khan to come back, and looks like actually Puppypaw is moving out to the right side on the deer. A couple of horsemen trying to stop that. Does snipe a scholar. The outpost will go up eventually. The horsemen in position there to defend those villages. Village count now actually at 38 for kasva, 42 for Puppypaw. So kasva trailing a little bit in this game. Puppypaw doing a fantastic work to defend against the outpost rush and progress forward in the feudal age. Puppypaw actually has enough gold to get up to the next stage. This is looking rough with kasva. He's tried to be relatively aggressive here. He's just taking some ineffective fights without the upgrades for his horsemen. He's going to lose horsemen here. Puppypaw will be quite happy with this trade, I suspect, but he's still going to back off. Doesn't quite have the numbers there. Kasva's starting to win some fights here, but Castle Age will be on the way for Puppypaw now. He's going up with the House of Learning, looking to get those advantages, those technologies, maybe honed blades perhaps for the lancers that might be popping out for Puppypaw, maybe switching into man-at-arms. I suspect going for Lancers will be the easier option, considering he has a stable that's already being supervised by the Scholar. We shall see what he decides to do. An outpost going down for kasva, looking to control the middle part of the map, and this sacred site, which has been captured by puppypaw. Puppypaw happy to quite happy to retreat back now to make sure he's safe and sound for this castle age. But on the right side, horsemen are going to look to raid. There's only one outpost there, meaning there's only room for 5. This is going to be quite rough for puppypaw. Puppypaw's villagers turning around and fighting. Horsemen in the mix as well, and now puppypaw will look to secure this position, but when he does get to the castle age, that will change everything. The castle age does come in now. Let's take a look. He has, as you can see, researching honed blades, and he does have a second stable, so it is certainly Lancers. He's effectively got 4 stables on the field, because both stables are being supervised now. kasva in a really rough spot, absolutely nowhere near the castle age. He's got a lot of horsemen on the field. As you know, he had 3 stables. 4 stables. He's going full craziness with the stables and the horsemen, and I'm not sure that's going to be enough. The castle age upgrades that you get, the power spike is often incredible. Okay, kasva looking to neutralize that sacred site, but there will be Lancers on the field relatively soon for puppypaw to assist the horsemen that already are on the field. kasva has not given up trying to deny this wood line. He's going for more outposts, but it has to be said, puppypaw looking in a strong position with 49 villagers to 45. Is a bit lagging behind in military numbers, but the military numbers will be only half the story because the military themselves will be higher in quality. Going to be a big fight here now. Puppypaw will need to bring his Lancers in. He's got 2 of them on the field so far. Will want to take the fight, I suspect, because he does have the Lancers that will take a lot of tanking of damage from the horsemen. Outpost doesn't get to go up for the Mongols here, and puppypaw quite happy to siege this down. As time goes on, as you can see, the Lancers are coming forward, and the relics are being brought in as well for puppypaw, looking to secure the mid to late game features of this particular game, this strategy. Getting those relics is so important, especially as the games get dragged on. Okay, Lancers numbers starting to build up now, 4 on the field, and puppypaw looking to get that critical mass of Lancers where it can take a really effective fight. The economy, again, on the right is pretty stagnant actually, nothing there left. He's taking what he needed to take, and puppypaw has moved to the back gold to really boost the gold income for the Lancer productions. Move to the south berries as well, which I don't think kasva knows about just yet. If he sees that, might want to send some units there. We shall see what he decides to do. He's still looking to pressure the right side, but there is nothing there now for kasva to attack. Puppypaw brings back his villagers that were on gold, so temporarily off of gold just for now. But puppypaw looking to actually take down the outposts while kasva is running around, and look to secure that forward gold again for his villagers. kasva really going hard on feudal age, staying in feudal age, not looking to get up to the next stage just yet. But kasva are going to be sending quite a few horsemen to these berries now. 7 of them for puppypaw, so 2 of them will at least be going down at the very least. And that's considering if 5 garrison in they do. These 2 unfortunately don't make it. Those 2 ladies are sacrificed for the other 5. Now this tower will go down relatively quickly as well, so it's probably another 5 dead villagers. Puppypaw will have the castle age upgrades though coming in, and that outpost again denied. The middle sacred site has been decamped by kasva, so that's something in his favour, but there's a lot of spearmen added to the mix for kasva. Kasva does reach the castle age now, and will be looking to upgrade his units. Probably won't want to fight in the situation that he is in right now. Wants to hold on, but we can see puppypaw looking to get hold of that middle sacred site just now for that gold income to continue. kasva looking to raid with a lot of horsemen here, has to be said. And this could be quite a nice pick off by kasva. He actually decides to back off, just going to be settling with the idle time. Loses 2 horsemen for no villagers, unfortunately. Just a bit of idle time caused. And that middle sacred site has been captured by puppypaw. That gold income going to be rising for him. Puppypaw now looking to perhaps go to the north sacred site, sending Lancers and 2 scholars there. Should be able to capture that quite comfortably, with kasva only getting to the castle age only recently. But he does have the step redoubt, so we'll be looking to produce army as well. He's going for Lancers himself, and also the veteran horseman upgrade, which makes sense considering how many horsemen he actually has on the field. Villagers here for puppypaw will be going down. These are all so exposed, 6 of them. At least 2 of them should be going down with the horsemen, but they're making their way back relatively quickly. There is a lancer now in the mix. The veteran horseman upgrade is in. Veteran horseman actually focusing on the lancers rather than the villagers. Lancers going to get relatively effective trade. There are 3 of them, so kasva does have to pull back. puppypaw looking to get control of that sacred site on the north, looking to palisade wall it with the archers. We'll get that done with the lancers and behind them to protect that endeavor. That little skirmish up there is going to secure a second sacred site for puppypaw. Again, further increasing the gold income. And as you can see, 700 gold here for puppypaw. A nice amount of income. We can see 966 gold income there. Not too far behind though, kasva, with the step redoubt bonuses of 50% extra gold being collected by the villagers there. A lot of spearmen here, looking good here for kasva to push the lancers away, but there are a couple of archers there that puppypaw will be using in the mix. Puppypaw quite happy to trade this because he wants to keep hold of the sacred site, and don't forget the lancers are doing pretty well. These are hardened spearmen, not veteran spearmen, so puppypaw has the advantage there. Takes them out relatively nicely, but we do see a lot of veteran horsemen looking to force the issue, but not sure he has enough. He might have enough. We shall see how this one pans out. The scholars, they can look to heal up the lancers. That could be a pain for kasva. I'm not sure kasva has enough here. The horsemen aren't necessarily going to be able to do enough. It does snipe the monk with the relic though. That's effective. Yeah, the lancers just chew through those, I'm afraid, and kasva is having to backtrack with this veteran horseman. It just feels like the horsemen weren't able to do what they needed to do there, and it's looking now rough for kasva, I suspect. A couple of lancers being just drifted in by puppypaw. That lancer will be taken down by the arrow fire slowly but surely, but idling the economy for quite some time. Relic is being brought in by puppypaw from the north again. Second attempt. 3 relics in the bag for puppypaw. That's fantastic. That gold income is going to be skyrocketing. That's for sure. Moving forward to the forward deer now that he feels like it's got a bit of map control. Outpost going there as well. No arrow slits in there just yet, but it's certainly a good position to be able to garrison those villages if they're under attack. Outpost now will be sieged down for puppypaw on the right side. That wood line is nice and safe, although there's only 1 villager there anyway. Not the biggest deal. Lancers there for puppypaw, looking to be on the aggressive side for the first time in the game. Looking to do some raiding, but a third sacred site will be coming in for puppypaw. Actually, maybe not. The scholars just decided to walk off the area of capture. That's a bit annoying for puppypaw, that's for sure. And now looking like puppypaw is getting the advantage with the lancer numbers, looking to raid and keeping kasva's economy pretty idled. There is 1 relic coming in for kasva though, so it's not going to give them all up. But the majority of the relics here are really so much in the favour of the Delhi Sultanate here. Okay, scholar moves back onto the sacred site eventually. Okay, kasva desperate to pull one back to even out the set, because of course this will be his ticket to the grand final for that golden ticket, that opportunity to challenge that golden ticket for the road to Redbull Wololo legacy, or the main event rather. We shall see whether he manages to pull one back, but having a sacred site, again a third sacred site for the Delhi Sultanate, will be very powerful for their economy, and it does also of course activate the timer. We're at 22 minutes, about 22 seconds we shall say. That activates the timer. There's a bit of a fight in the middle, but this is not a fight that kasva can take. He does use the arrow maneuver to try and quickly get away from this fight, which he needs to do because there are a lot of lancers here for puppypaw, and don't forget he's got honed blades, which is certainly going to help his cause. Okay, fight going here for kasva. Kasva just looking to bide some time, but just military count is looking a little bit low for him. 15 versus 43. Puppypaw just taking the better fights on multiple occasions. As you see, look losing knights here is 1 or 2, 3 knights just kind of add up as time goes. Lancers there swooping around on the right side, looking to get some damage for kasva, but only 2 lancers being chased by about a dozen. Half a dozen rather, and yeah, that's going to be a problem for kasva, not being able to do the damage it wants to. And now it looks like puppypaw looking to secure the left side, especially with the scholars and tower elephants, looking to attack from that angle as well. He has the other 2 sacred sites very nicely walled in, so quite happy to leave those unattended. Well, actually the central sacred site is not actually walled in, but it's relatively close to his home base, so not too worried about that. And now he's starting to put some pressure. Keep going up for puppypaw. This could be huge because this would deny that gold and force kasva to another gold vein. Villagers going to go forward, looking to get an outpost up, looking to deny and kill the villagers, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It feels like kasva's using a strategy from Age of Empires 2 that doesn't seem to translate too well in Age of Empires 4, because obviously now the villagers being garrisoned in the outpost will be able to focus fire on the villagers and maybe look to deny the castle. It might actually work, because especially because of the army. I suspect it's more because of the army that's there, and that keep will be denied. That is a fantastic place, so maybe that strategy does work. It's probably more the military that took out the villagers, but hey, kasva knows what he's doing, that's for sure, because he's got the outpost up and he's pushed this back, and this is quite big for kasva. This could be a window of opportunity, but there are a lot of scholars here behind the tower elephants healing them up. A lot of spearmen though. That is certainly the right unit to look to deny and kill these units. But look at the lancers actually not dying here. This is absolutely terrible. Herbal medicine is absolutely nuts here. The scholars doing so much healing ability, and this is so strong for the Delhi Sultanate. This is why the Dome of the Faith is so strong, and we don't see the Tower of Victory hardly in Age of Empires 4 because of these scholars being there. And kasva taps out. puppypaw has made it. puppypaw is building up in the ranks. He's developed so well as an Age of Empires 4 player. You can see the talent there for both players. But puppypaw edging it this time, winning the series 2-0. This seals the deal. This means that puppypaw will be facing up against marinelord in the grand final for the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy Week 2. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this casted games. If you did, do give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see the grand final. That'll be coming up next on the YouTube channel. Take care and see you next time.